Hi, everyone. Welcome to Art and Talk's Impression Show. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm Leslie Sue, the host for Impression. If you've been watching our full-length artist interviews or Impression, one of our adjunct video series, you know Art and Talk is all about meeting artists and being inspired. We aim to dive into the heart and mind of each guest artist to gain a wider perspective of what their art is about, their message, and their process. All right, so again, thank you for being with us. We have a new visual artist to introduce you to, and she received her fine arts training in both Israel and Italy, and she's exhibited her work in also Italy, Israel, France, and the United States. And we'll be getting an overview of her art, and we'll also be looking into a recent exhibition of hers that deals with time, memory, family, and ancestors. So we'll be finding out what that's all about, and we have a video to show you as well that covers the exhibition space. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome our guest for today, Yochi Yakir Avin. Hi, Yocki, welcome.
Hello, Leslie, and thank you for having me at the Art and Talk Impression series. Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome. We're so delighted to have you here and to dive into your art and one of your recent exhibitions. Yocki, how about if you give us a little bit of a background of your art? I gathered from your bio that the majority of your art, or at least a large chunk, comprises portraits with oil on canvas, and you like to work in a representational style, but you also create these very interesting, intricate mixed media. You also create sculptures and installations. Can you give us an overview of your art from that context?
Yeah, so it's correct. I'm a multidisciplinary representational, figurative and portrait oil painter. I also create sculptures and interactive installations and mixed media pieces. Right now, I'm an artist resident at Studio 18 Art Complex. It's in Pembroke Pines, Florida. The majority of my work in the last years was portraits and figurative art in painting, oil painting. But that brought me in the last 3 years to my new project on which I've been working for the last 3 years. The project deals with time and memory. And time and memory, as I see it, can be flexible and shaped over time. So my recent project, I create and rebuild from a repository of archived family images that were damaged and beaten by this of time, while embracing renewed closeness with my ancestors and family members, some of whom I didn't know at all. This process, my recent process, has equal parts research and restoration. And that's my recent exhibition. This exhibition had 4 phases. The first phase, I didn't know where it will take me. I just created the piece, and by the reaction of people who viewed the piece, I understood that there is something in this piece. The piece is, the work is titled Memory Drawers, and it's made of drawers on top of which there are images of my family, and the images are made in image transfer technique. So the technique was perfect for me because the imperfection of the technique served me very well to demonstrate what I want to say about memory and about the flexibility and the possibility to shape the memory. So it really connects very much with the theme. And this was my first attempt to revisit my memories. This led me, this was in 2019. This led me to the second phase of the project, which is the memory boxes, and it was made during COVID. The studio in which I work, Studio 18, was closed because of the pandemic. And the only place I could work was home. And I didn't have around me all the materials that I usually use. And I didn't want to paint in oil at home. So I started to look and research what I can do. And I got back to the memory drawers. And I started to work on top of cigar boxes because my husband is a cigar smoker. And I had those boxes at home. So I applied again the transfer technique, the image transfer technique on top of those boxes. And that was the second phase. And that led me to the grant, the first grant for the project. Since then, I got 3 grants. The last one was this year, this exhibition that we're about to see. The Broward Cultural Division saw the potential in the project and granted it for 3 times, which I'm very grateful for.
That's fantastic. First of all, that you received these grants to keep this ongoing project, which has spanned over now many years thus far. I'm wondering if you could tap us into your fascination, your creative inspiration, Yocki, with time and memory, connecting it with your family. And it was so interesting how you were saying that you feel that there's a flexibility with memory, that it actually gets shaped in almost like a different context, in a different memory over time. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, well, my memory is interrupted because my family history, because places we moved a lot when I was a child. So memories are very interrupted for me. So I started actually to look into my memories 3 years ago. That was the first attempt with the memory drawers. And I created a mini cosmos in those drawers. They have pictures, transfer images, but also objects inside the drawers that relate to the pictures, to the photos. So I tried to close those gaps in the memory with this project. And going on with the project, I am creating and rebuilding a new way to look on my memories, because some memories that I have, I remember, of course, but some were told me, people told me about things that happened. So I shaped my memories also according to what people told me. And some memories I have because I look at the photos and I remember some things from the photos. So I'm trying to connect all those gaps and to rebuild a new image that I hope I'm succeeding in, especially in this recent project, that it's not only those 2 phases that I mentioned. There are 3rd phase and 4th phase. The 4th is the most, the bigger one, the most important one. All those phases, by the way, were exhibited separately, and the last one, the whole 4 phases are exhibited in this recent exhibition.
And do you feel that as these phases have developed, Yocki, because now we're into the fourth one, which we'll be exploring in just a moment, do you feel that sense of closure and closing the gaps and also creating a different image in terms of your memory? So do you feel like there is that closure, so to speak, that has taken place?
Yeah, definitely. I feel that closure. Some things that I couldn't talk about before because I kept them I couldn't really share it easily. If I did, it was very rarely. Now I can even laugh about. I can talk about it and laugh. So yeah, I feel kind of closure, and I feel much more relaxed about not everything is happy and great. So even those memories that are more more difficult, I can look at them and see other sides of them. And as I said, even laugh about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And that's so beautiful because in addition to the beautiful, thoughtful, innovative art that you've created, it also has had a deep healing component for you, is what it sounds like. And I'm sure for other viewers as well who have seen it, because pretty much everyone can resonate with memory, time, and certainly tying that in with
Absolutely.
ancestors and family. So there is that tie together.
Yes, yes. And I see it with people's reaction about when they come to the exhibition, that the exhibition is interactive. So people can do things. They can take out plates and look at them. They can open drawers and look inside. There are objects inside the drawers. There are the boxes that people have to turn in order to see 4 different images, but they have to interact with it. And so on. There are also the boxes, the memory boxes, you have to take it and close it and open it because outside there are images. So it's all an interactive thing. And I see people's reaction. People are very excited about it and very touched about it. I see all kinds of reactions and all of them are very good.
Yes. And I love that interactive aspect because it really brings it up to a different level of experience for the viewer to be opening these memory boxes and drawers and seeing what's in it, opening and closing. There's so much symbology going on and such a different level of experience and interaction. So I think combining that is just a really brilliant feature, and it brings the viewer and the person experiencing the exhibition to a whole different aspect of really understanding the message and taking it on your perspective, but also on their individual level and how they're resonating with it.
Absolutely. There are also QR codes that people scan and can have the story. Some of the stories are a video and some are audio. So it even connects more because you hear the story. It's a short story. It's not long. But it's a short story that relates to the piece, so it connects even more.
Mm-hmm. And I love your approach, the way you're like thinking about these themes is almost like, if you will, on a scientific level, it's sort of this investigation and this exploratory aspects, but yet in a creative, artistic expression.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, before we look at the video that you created, let's talk about the memory capture phase 4. What are we going to be looking at in this video?
Okay, so the memory capture phase 4, the video was made, by the way, but by our grandson, Adam Avin. And it's really, really new. I think he put it online yesterday, so it's completely fresh and new, and he did a great job. So he edited the exhibition from the entrance going into the exhibition, but it's not, I mean, from the beginning, it's not exactly how it started. The memory drawers are later on in the video. So we see at the beginning 4 big brown papers with drawings, pencil drawings on top of them. And those drawings are intentionally, I mean, on purpose, are faded and a little bit, they have a sheer look to them. And it was done on purpose because it's like the memories that are fading with time, and not everything is very focused. Some of it we remember, some of it is modified, depend on the light and on the mood. So those four big drawings, they are monumental almost. They are on the wall, applied on the wall with tape, with blue tape, which is also on purpose because the things are not permanent. It's everything is temporary. So also this temporary look to the pieces. Later on, he goes to the memory, the light boxes. And the light boxes have only outline, the outline of images that are curved in light. And so you see the outline. I took out the details of the background and everything. I left only what was essential to me to examine. So the image, the outline of the image is only what I wanted people to concentrate on. And those boxes are cardboard boxes. They are giving the viewer kind of a private room, like a glimpse into a private place. After those 5 light boxes, the memory drawers with object inside, and the plates, my ancestor plates that were painted on top of plates that the viewer can't really see all of the plates. There are 8 plates of my ancestors, but he has to take out the plate in order to see them. So when you stand in front of it, you see only the first plate, but then you have to move to the side in order to see part of it and to take out really the plates in order to see the whole image. And those plates are inspired by Polish plates. I was born in Poland. So Polish people usually have plates on the wall. It's like decoration. So I used this memory of plates on the wall to paint my ancestors on those. Then you have the circles with eyes of my current family. All of them are alive and well, so only the eyes. Probably this was influenced by the pandemic. We had masks, we had most of what we saw were eyes. So probably this inspired also this 11 circles, pieces painted with oil on top of wood. And there are 11 people of my family. It was easier to convince them to be painted because it's only the eye. But I assure you that everybody recognizes everybody. Later on, there are the boxes, which you can't see in the video, but you can really take and close and open and look outside. And then the 2 paintings, one is here behind me, and this is a self-portrait that was made before or during the whole project. And another one is my self-portrait at probably 1.5 years. I call it, I title it Yellow Bonnet. And all the images in the exhibition, you can find here and there. I mean, they are not exclusively for one section, but you can find them in other places in the exhibition in different ways. So I treated them differently. And then there are very small, like postcards that are made in oil on top of wood panels, small postcard size. And there are images of my family during vacations in Poland. No, actually, one of them is not in Poland. It's me and my mother. It's this image that I did. I don't know if you can see it. You can? So this is very big, but the one on the postcard is small and colorful. This is only pencil on cardboard, and it's monochromatic.
Right. I think this would be a great moment. Let me pull this up.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. What a brilliant, brilliant exhibition. You take us down so many different avenues, so many streets to explore this time, memory, family, ancestors, and so brilliantly and thoughtfully executed and in such a variety of different media. I mean, just brilliant and so innovative. And I know you also used your birth certificate in a unique way as well.
Yeah. This is flimsy houses that I created for the memory drawers, and they are made for my birth certificate. Yeah.
Very innovative. And I love how you share that everything has a value to it in terms of the materials that you use. And you want to show like the temporal, the fading, different aspects. So that's incorporated into how you visually executed the exhibition and to convey your feelings and to just bring us into this whole area that we can explore with you and be healed as well.
Yeah, thank you. And I continue. I still have things to say. So I started this new piece and I discovered new things. It's really fascinating. I'm a portrait and figurative oil painter, but I think this is what really facilitates the whole process. This what opened the whole process. I think it makes it easier for me to work with different different materials that I love. I love working with different materials, but also in the back of it, there is this portrait and figurative and representational artist. And I'm not afraid. I trust my process. I mean, that is what leading me. I trust my process and I know it will take me where it should take me.
That's beautiful. I love that you shared that with us, that aspect of trusting and just moving forward in the practice. So we looked at phase 4, Yocki. So now it sounds like there is some new material that you've mentioned. So is there going to be a phase 5?
I am looking for additional venues. I want the exhibition to travel. I really would love it to travel. So I'm getting in contact with different curators and venues. And I am not stopping because if there will be a additional phase to it, I'm already working on it.
Yes, yes.
So,
Yocki, it has been such a wonderful dive to explore this exhibition with you that's interactive, that deals with all these areas of exploration, as we've been mentioning with time, memory, and this sort of like fluid aspect to it. Also healing and tying it into family and ancestry as well. We do need to close out the show. We certainly hope that this could be a traveling exhibit for you, so we'll definitely hold that intention for you.
thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And wish you much success. Is there any final comments that you'd like to share before we close out the show?
Well, people can find me on my website. It's yochiyakirAvin.com. And on Facebook, it's the same. Instagram, it's the same. And I have a newsletter on my website that I would be happy that if people sign up. Once every 6 weeks, I have a newsletter and I tell everything that is happening, all the updates and everything. So yeah, people can sign up for the newsletter.
Very good. We'll make sure we include that in the video description. One final question I'm curious with, Yocki. Now that you've experienced this for several years, gone through some healing with family, time, memory, and you know, as we've been talking about closing the gaps and whatnot, the family members that are alive that you interact with, have you noticed any changes with your perception of them, with your interaction? Has any of those dynamics played a factor?
Well, it's yes. The answer is yes, but it's more complicated because my family is, some of them are in Israel, some of them are here. It's a complicated story, which I won't share, of course, not now. So yes, the answer is yes. I did see some closeness, yeah. I did see some, and they were very enthusiastic about the exhibition. They were very surprised because I didn't share it until the exhibition. So it was a surprise.
Yes. Yocki, thank you so much for being our guest artist today and taking us on this beautiful exploration of so many different areas and sharing your your thoughtful art and your talent, your passion, your creativity, and your innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching Art and Talks Impression Show. Please stay connected with us. You can like and follow us on our Facebook page, Art and Talk, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We appreciate your support, and we'll talk soon on the next Art and Talks Impression. Until then, be well and be blessed.